Thanks to technological progress and good old-fashioned human perseverance, a large portion of the Earth has been mapped, and human feet have set foot on nearly every continent, island, desert, forest, and icy expanse, or have they? Some might be surprised to learn that there are still vast areas on Earth that have not yet been properly explored, settled, or even put on a map. While the majority of the Earth has indeed been explored, large stretches of wilderness in Chile remain untouched, a handful of mountain peaks remain untrodden, and the ocean floor remains a massive, alien world that humanity has yet to map. Here are 10 places where no human has set foot. 10. Untouched, Pakistan. Untouched is a mountain in Pakistan, towering at a staggering 7,453 meters, and to this day, its summit remains unconquered. In 2003, all ascents of this mountain were prohibited, but some expeditions still managed to obtain permission. In 2014, English mountaineer Pete Thompson attempted to climb it, hoping to reach the summit. Thompson anticipated that he could tackle the final 1,453 meters without ropes, but the presence of hard ice thwarted his plans, forcing him to turn back at the 6,000-meter mark. Rumors circulated that before Thompson's attempt, a Spanish team had reached an altitude of 6,650 meters, marking the highest point on the mountain ever reached by humans. Pakistan boasts up to 108 mountain peaks exceeding 7,000 meters in height, and many of them belong to the Karakoram mountain range, 40 to 50% of which is covered in glacier. This mountain range is so vast that it borders China, India, Pakistan, and even stretches to Afghanistan and Tajikistan. The Karakoram range is also one of the most geologically active areas in the world, formed by the collision of the Indo-Australian and Eurasian tectonic plates. 9. 90% of the ocean floor. The ocean floor is a vast, uncharted world that remains largely unexplored by humans. While satellites have managed to map nearly 100% of the ocean floor in low resolution, more than 80% of the seabed still awaits exploration and high-resolution depiction. James Cameron boldly explored part of the Pacific Northern Valley, known as the Challenger Deep, in the solo submersible Deep Sea Challenger. The Challenger Deep is considered the Earth's deepest point. It reaches a depth of 10,994 meters. During his descent, Cameron managed to touch down at an impressive depth of 10,898 meters, setting a world record. One of the main reasons so much of the ocean floor remains unmapped is the challenge of developing vessels that can withstand the immense pressures and conditions found in the ocean's deepest parts. In the deepest sections of the Mariana Trench, the pressure reaches 8 tons per square inch, 6.45 cm², which is enough to reduce a human body to shapeless pulp. Before researchers made their initial dives into the Challenger Deep over 50 years ago, it was believed that the ocean floor was a muddy, lifeless wasteland. But since then, we've discovered that the opposite is true. Life teems in our oceans, and if we could explore these seemingly alien worlds, we would uncover many new extremophiles and unknown life forms. A prospect that excites many scientists. 8. Northern Forest Complex, Myanmar. The Northern Forest Complex in Myanmar remains one of the largest areas of untouched wilderness in Southeast Asia, spanning plains, forests and marshlands with coniferous trees. Only above the tree canopies of northern Myanmar can one see majestic snow-capped mountain peaks. This region boasts some of the richest biodiversity in Southeast Asia, with many areas still virtually untouched by researchers. It is believed that a significant portion of this biodiversity comprises numerous species of tigers, elephants, and birds. The heart of the forest encompasses nearly 13,679 kilometers, and stands as the world's largest tiger reserve. Although the forest itself is sparsely populated by humans, about 1 million people inhabit the areas around its perimeter, living both inland and along the adjacent coast. While much of the forest remains protected by environmental conservation sanctions, many of these are expiring, which, according to some experts, could spell disaster for the future preservation of the forest complex's biodiversity. Illegal wildlife tracking remains an issue, with China being the primary player in the trade of exotic animals taken from this region. 7. Namib Desert. The Namib Desert is one of the most inhospitable places for life on our planet, and it is currently considered the oldest desert. Due to the extreme heat and arid conditions, the region remains almost entirely uninhabited by humans. The skeleton coast is as deadly as it is beautiful. Its white sands are littered with shipwrecks from bygone eras, seemingly warning of the dangers the desert might hold for reckless travelers. Despite this, the Namib Desert and the Skeleton Coast are home to a remarkable array of wildlife such as baboons, leopards, cheetahs, brown and spotted hyenas, and occasionally, in the waters of the Skeleton Coast, one can encounter hippos. The only significant transportation in the area is linked to important trade routes. 6. Hang Son Doong Cave, Vietnam. The Hang Son Doong Cave was first discovered in 1990 by a local farmer named Ho Con, who was seeking shelter from a storm in the jungle. Ho Con noticed a mist and the sounds of a gushing underground river emanating from a massive hole in the limestone rock. He took refuge in the cave during the storm, but as he navigated his way out of the jungle, he lost his bearings, and for the next 18 years, its location remained lost. Fortunately for us, he rediscovered the entrance to the cave in 2008 while hunting. Today, this cave is considered one of the largest on the planet, stretching an impressive 5 kilometers in length and reaching heights of up to 200 meters. The first expedition to the cave, led by a team of British divers, couldn't map the entire cave system as they lacked the necessary equipment to continue its further exploration. The cave boasts a striking unique ecosystem with its own atmosphere and climate. Throughout the cave, there are scattered extremely rare limestone cave pearls, and it also contains the largest stalagmite ever discovered, standing at 80 meters in height. Entrance to the Hang Son Doong Cave is restricted to protect its fragile ecosystem, leaving much of it unexplored. It's believed that the cave system might be even more extensive than initially thought. 5. Sakha Republic, Yakutia, Russia. Being the largest administrative, territorial unit in the world, as well as the most expansive subject of the Russian Federation, the Sakha Republic is a frozen wasteland where ancient extinct animals have long been preserved in permafrost. Winters here can plunge to -43.5 C. It's one of the most sparsely populated places in the world, housing less than 1 million people, despite its vast territory that could fit several countries. According to Russian folklore, God flew over this vast frozen expanse of land holding Earth's treasures in his hands, and when the extreme cold numbed his fingers, he dropped these treasures, scattering them throughout the Sakha Republic. The region possesses some of the richest deposits of natural resources, accounting for 82% of diamonds, 17% of gold, 61% of uranium, and 5% of iron ore of all Russia's natural resources. Vast tracts of wilderness in Yakutia remain largely unexplored by humans to this day. 4. Gangkhar Puensum, Bhutan. Gangkhar Puensum is considered the world's highest unclimbed mountain. No one has ever ascended it, and it's unlikely anyone will in the foreseeable future. Gangkhar Puensum is sacred to the people of Bhutan, and any attempts to climb its slopes or peak are strictly taboo. However, rules and taboos can't deter everyone, and since part of the mountain crosses the border with China, the first and only attempt to conquer the peak was undertaken by a team of Japanese mountaineers in 1998, from the People's Republic of China side. They failed to achieve their goal of exploring the uncharted mountain, as they were swiftly halted due to political outrage immediately directed at the Chinese authorities by Bhutan. The mountain remains untouched by humans. 3. Kharjiang, Tibet. From a distance, Kharjiang appears like a towering icy peak that seems to have been struck by an asteroid, forming a large crater with sharp, frozen spires around the edges. Like most mountains in Tibet, it offers a breathtaking sight. Standing at an elevation of 7,221 meters, Kharjiang remains one of the world's highest unclimbed peaks. Karjiang Mountain is located near the border of China and Bhutan in the Tibetan Autonomous Region. The last significant attempt to reach the summit was undertaken in 2001 by a team from the Netherlands. At one point during the ascent, the Dutch explorers had to turn back due to severe weather conditions, although they managed to reach an altitude of 6,820 meters, climbing up to Karjiang 3 before their descent. While Karjiang I remains unconquered, the summit of Karjiang 2 was reached in 1986 by a group of Japanese explorers led by N. Shigo. The challenge in summiting Karjiang I lies in its avalanche-prone slopes, and the ever-changing weather conditions make it unpredictable during expeditions. 2. Northern Islands of Greenland. Greenland is the largest island in the world, boasting numerous awe-inspiring glacier and ice-covered mountains that jut into the earth like serrated blades. The country is recognized as an autonomous region of Denmark, and much of it remains uninhabited by humans. Less than 58,000 people reside in Greenland. The pristine landscapes of Greenland trace a history nearly 3.8 billion years old, and the few adventurers who have dared to visit speak of witnessing geological time firsthand, gazing upon massive ice-clad peaks and an incredibly diverse landscape. In 2005, due to the melting polar ice caps, new islands emerged that had not been categorized when Greenland was first mapped almost a century prior. The discovery of new lands connected to the vast island is but one of many secrets that might be unveiled if climate change continues. Scientists are deeply concerned that global warming could lead to the melting of the glacier that cover much of Greenland's interior. The country's largest geological feature, the Jakobshavn Glacier, moves at an astonishing pace of 30 meters per day, faster than any other glacier on Earth. It is believed that it was from this ice sheet that the iceberg which sunk the Titanic broke off. 1. Northern Patagonia, Chile. The vast wilderness of northern Patagonia is covered in tropical forests, fjords, and hot springs, making it one of the least populated regions in Chile. While Los Glaciares National Park in Argentina and Torres del Paine National Park in Chile remain tourism hotspots, beyond these areas, the wilderness remains largely uncharted. Many tourist sites are marketed as appealing to adventure enthusiasts, but an average tourist's safety largely depends on the route chosen. There are terrains so inhospitable here that even the most seasoned explorer might face challenges navigating the landscape. The Isen region is characterized by dangling glacier, immense fjords with intricate structures, stunning blue caves, and steamy, perilous tropical forests. Access to this area is solely through a highway, following Route Number 7, dubbed the Carretera Austral. The ice field is actually so vast that it can be compared to those beyond the Arctic Circle, making it incredibly challenging to map accurately.